Yo, what's up guys? Nanjiroh here. Welcome to week 13 of Ask Nanjiroh. So I don't have that many questions this week, but I will be trying to collect some questions from you guys starting today actually. And I will try to have week 14 out maybe before Wednesday of this week. I do have some things that I need to be trying to do. But yeah, yeah, I will definitely try to have that out within the next 4 or 5 days. So to start off with, Roomnoxy asked me a question. Now I usually don't include Roomnoxy in these. Well, I usually don't include his questions directly in Ask Nanjiroh, just because his questions are usually very detailed and usually take me at least 15 minutes to talk about. So, but this time I made an exception because I didn't have that many questions for this week. So I think I only have 8 total, something like that. Anyway, the Shadowverse scene in the West is very weak at the moment compared to that of other CCGs and how they are promoted. If there were several things you could do to improve mindshare of Shadowverse, how would you do it? Hearthstone relied on their use of pedigree with the Warcraft franchise. The Elder Scrolls has partnered interactive benefits for streamers, such as free packs for viewers. Okay, so to be honest with you, it's really weird that okay, so something funny that I learned a few months ago that that kind of makes the concept of Shadowverse being not as big in the West. That kind of makes it funny is that Side Games is a corporate giant. I say that because, at least in my mind anyway, you have to be fairly big to be represented in the New York Stock Exchange, but apparently Side Games has been is a big deal there. And I think for Shadowverse as a whole, a lot of things are kind of holding it back. One, there's still the issue of it's relatively new-ish. The game's only been out for a year and 2 months, something like that. About a year and 2 months. Additionally, there was the issue of, they tried it. The last year so has been a bunch of over the top shenanigans that usually involved you eating a lot of burst damage, or you eating a lot of unpleasant things that you can't really do anything about, such as, for example, starting with the most recent one, Spawn. We literally went from Zell Oro and Dragon to that of Spawn within a set or two. That was not good. Yeah, because it was okay, so we traded in one 2-card combo that did 13 damage for a 2-card combo that usually only required the 1 card, and that card with followed up with any additional burst damage would be a straight up OTK. What? Why? Why was that a thing? But yeah, so stuff like that does hurt you, just because in the West, a lot of people are it's a little bit more difficult to keep people's attention in the West, more so than it is in stuff like Japan. Now, don't get me wrong, this problem is a problem from both sides, because it is both a problem of the players as well as the company itself. Because there are some things that you could do to foster, good relations with your player base, but they kind of don't do them, or when they have the opportunity to do so, it usually favors the Japanese players. Why? Such as, for example, recently they made a voting contest for that they could only get into if you're on the Japanese version of the Steam client, and it had to be Steam. It couldn't be mobile or anything like that. So you already eliminated your mobile player base, and I'm willing to bet that quite a few people like me only play the game for mobile, and therefore we're just kind of locked out of that event. And it was sad because I actually followed the Japanese scene. I could have voted and I could have gotten some packs, but nope, I was not allowed to. Additionally, there was another giveaway, again only for Japanese Steam users. Why? It's kind of weird to, while I realize that the company is in fact based in Japan, it's still kind of weird to me sometimes how often it is that we get like Japanese only events. Like that's not good for when you're trying to like promote to other people and try to like get your name out there. Like, yes, again, I realize that they are like a giant corporate conglomerate, but like only people like me who just happen to know these things would know that. Like, but not other people know that, and not other people care. Additionally, there's also the implementation of how they do some of their events, like, well, how they do some more of their events, like for example, the current the current event that we have going on for the 12 million downloads, and how it basically incensed the entirety of the Western community. It incensed a large amount. I'm not gonna say the entirety, because that's disingenuous, because some people like me don't really care. But a lot of people are very, very incensed about that, and claim that the game has gone like full gacha mode. I'm sorry for laughing. This is supposed to be serious. It's just that, like, I was on Reddit and there were like a billion of these like hate threads about like, oh my god, Side Games has gone full gacha mode. I want to quit this game right now. Okay, but anyway, to actually answer the question. I do believe that part of this is based on the fact that like, so we usually get a lot of freebies, but that wall kind of dries up at like really awkward points. Like, for example, like I remember like when so I started playing the game back in like January. I remember from like February to April we got like 50 free packs for like no reason. that was like a 3-month period. But as of for the last, I don't know, 3 months now or whatever. Well, it's not really 3 months, maybe 2 months or so. Like, we didn't really get any. We haven't really I guess, like, gotten like that many packs. And like as weird and as, well, not good as it sounds, like, generally a way to garner popularity is to, well, give away free shit, because like if you give away enough free shit, then like the word of mouth does spread. Like, for example, if I randomly advertise online that, okay, well, if I randomly just like go online or like go on Twitter or whatever, I'm like, okay, well, if you go to X and X place and you ask for X and X thing, they're gonna give it to you for free. I guarantee you that like that if I'm like a well enough known person, or if enough people happen to spread the traffic or whatever, that whatever place that I just recommended for people to go to, that place is gonna be packed by like the end of the day. And that is something they do need to do. Additionally, I do think that they need to be, well, I think that they need to do, I guess, like, semi-public addresses more. Not like in the style of that people are, I guess are like expecting, which is that of the whole, oh, well, Side Games, they absolutely have to answer this or this. No, it's just one of those to kind of like announce to your player base that, yeah, we exist, we're here, like, we don't just wait for things to go bad before we choose to interact with you guys. Like, just that way your player base has the feeling of, okay, well, we want you guys around, and things like that. Like, because little things like that do go a long way. Like, and do actually make quite a bit of difference. Like, for example, for the Overwatch team, like, the thing. Alright, so even though I don't even play Overwatch, the thing that I always hear the first time that Overwatch comes up in a conversation or anything like that, or whenever I see it mentioned online, is, oh my god, Jeff Kaplan is amazing. Like, he always interacts with us. He always tells us, okay, well, this is what's going wrong. This is what's going wrong. This is what we plan to do about it. Like, and we'll get back to you in a few days or whatever. But we don't really get that when it comes to Shadowverse. Or if we do, it's 100% not seen in the West. Like, for example, so whenever we have like a bad meta game or anything like that, like, we just get complete radio silence until like maybe like 3 or 4 days before the patch. It's like, oh, okay, well, there's a patch, and then they don't actually say anything until we get to the actual day of the patch itself. Like, it's really awkward to like subject people. Well, okay, for people to be in a bad situation for like weeks upon weeks, and for you to only like address it like a few days before like the end of that month, and only in like one post, and then like not much else. Like that's not good. Like I definitely feel that they need to like communicate with the player base a little bit more. Like it doesn't have to be anything like big or anything like that. It's just again a little bit, just to be like, okay, well, we're here, we want to interact with you guys, let us know what you guys think. Like I will admit that they are like trying or whatever to do that on say Twitter, but like that's, I don't know, like not everyone goes on Twitter, like, but you know what people do go on? Shadowverse, like in the news section, just simple updates. That's it. Like, and I will admit that for the updates in and of itself, that is one thing that they do well. Again, it just that like maybe needs to be a little bit more, or maybe like not quite like video blogs, but just like little things such as like making like appearances on like NG and whatnot. Because I remember that they did make one, but maybe make a few more. I don't know. Okay. The next thing is for like release events and whatnot. Okay, so I do know that they do give us like 10 free packs whenever. Well, is it 10? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like 10 free packs on the day of a release. But one thing that I know that Hearthstone does, which from my limited time of playing Hearthstone, which I actually really enjoyed, is that they have like quests on the day of the release, where it's just like, okay, well, if you play as like this or whatever, and you win a few games, okay, well, you get some free stuff. Like the free stuff, it wasn't even much, but like it was one of those, like, it made me feel, I guess, happy to be opening up all this packs on like release day. And again, I do realize that getting 10 packs is already quite a lot, but sometimes people require like more than like packs just being handed at them, I think, to some extent, which is weird, because obviously, like, I did just say that a lot of people hated the whole like full on gacha style of the quest thingy, but it's definitely good to try to appease both sides. And I do like how they do some of the events that we've done so far. The next big thing is promote us for a friend events. Like right now, like the friends list means absolutely nothing, because like you can't actually talk to people, and the only thing it lets you do is, oh, well, you can spectate games if they're, yeah, you can spectate games, and you can kind of like more or less like see their rank, but not like their overall placing. That's not good. Like yes, I realize that obviously like there's only like one global server, and it's like people from all over the world, and that more often than not you're gonna like run into Japanese players. But it's still nice to maybe have that, like, because like I can't imagine it's going to go like that horribly wrong. Because like worst case scenario, oh, you have someone from like NA trying to talk to someone from like Japan or whatever, and the person doesn't speak English, and you don't speak Japanese. That's not a big deal. Like, because I know the big thing for having like chat messages and things like that in like other games is that, oh, well, it invites a lot of hostility and toxicity or whatever. And I think that, like, well, one, there's a delete button. Two, like, if it really got that bad, like, I'm pretty sure, well, like, yeah, like, if it really got that bad, I'm pretty sure that, like, that just like a lot of people just like wouldn't accept like friend requests or whatever. Because again, you don't have to accept the friend requests, but just being able to like be able to say, okay, well, I have this friends list here, and it actually does something for me. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. Like, if the only thing that I can do with it is to just like semi-stalk my friends, but by just like seeing what letter rank they are or whatever. Like, so just for me to see, oh, well, he's like AA1 or he's like master or whatever. Like, that's not really that great. Additionally, for their friend events, like, I believe almost every single like online game that I've ever played, they all have refer a friend events, and they all go over pretty well, actually. Like, you don't even have to make the things like that big, but you just like make them like a little bit of like small things, like just like small trinkets or whatever. Maybe like small cosmetics, like say for example, maybe maybe like a special like emblem or something like that, and then maybe a few like free packs, and people are willing to do that. Like it drums up additional business, and it gets the word out. Oh, and then lastly, better promotions during NG and other events. What I mean by that is that like NG is if you've never actually watched the NGE stream, what they do is that they have like a vial giveaway. It's like 3,500 vials, but only like 3 people can get them, and I don't know. I don't particularly like enjoy that much, just because other games, like, they have better things they can do. Like, I don't see why for the NGE things why we get that, but whereas for like the Rage thing, which again is like Japanese based, or whereas for the Rage slash JCG tournaments, like, you can like actually like physically vote on players. Like, I don't see why we don't have that for like NA. I mean, like, again, obviously, like, it's one of those, if it did end up going that bad or whatever, we just like not do them. But like, I don't see why we have yet to have like actually have tried this. Like, I don't know. Like, I will admit though that the whole like voting on players is obviously like a shaky slope sort of thing. But because obviously if for some reason that player like underperforms or something like that, a lot of people are gonna be salty. But I think that's like fine as long as you like make it so that way there's like a baseline of, okay, well, you get like this many packs just for voting, and then, okay, well, if you win, you get like more packs. Obviously, don't make the difference between voting and then getting packs like astronomically high. Like, for example, don't make it so that, oh, well, if I vote, I get like 1 pack or no pack, or like 2 packs, something like that, and then like if I win, I get like 50 packs. No, okay, because that's gonna put, one, a lot of pressure on the people who are getting voted for, and 2, like, it's going to add a lot of like unnecessary like grief and anger slash like salt. Like, if for some reason like you vote on someone and that person doesn't win and you only get like 2 packs, like, if you make it like if you make the difference like very close in numbers, that way it's not like too awful just to vote, and it's not too awful to not win, like, then that'll be good. But yeah, those were like the current like thoughts I had on it. Like, obviously, like, if you guys have any thoughts, go ahead like let me know down in the comments when I finish, like, when you finish watching the video. For the next question, it was when are you doing that card review with your friends? The card review will be tomorrow. I don't know how long we'll be recording. Probably for a while. Like, I just gotta like, well, one, I have to like empty out like all of my like current videos, which is why you've been seeing me like upload like a madman the last like 72 hours. Like, I think I've uploaded maybe like 30 something videos, just so that way I can get them all off my just so that way I can get them like all off my phone, and then I can like try to record for about like an hour or 2 with my friends. What do you think the strongest class at the moment is, and why? To be honest, I actually don't know. I know from like the meta report or whatever, before it like went to shit, that that like the best class was in like a more or less like 4-way tie between like Dragon, Shadow, Haven, and like Rune, I think it was, or maybe it was Sword, something like that. And that I wouldn't be surprised if that deadlock was still up and relevant, because like it has been a few weeks, so now like the Shadow players, well, the people who are still playing Shadow have more or less like adjusted more or less to the Ektar nerfs, and you've been seeing a lot of different Shadow builds. Like, you've been seeing the Tyrant stuff pick up in popularity, at least from that of the Japanese. I don't know about like NA yet, because like obviously like NA generally regards things as memes until they see like a North American player win with it, and then they're like, oh my god, this is so good now. But like, even though it was always good, it's just that, well, people are biased and not good at card evaluations. Ram Dragon is still low. Ram Dragon, like the Japanese play it so much that like I cannot imagine that Ram Dragon will ever not be like top 4 in the popularity, or in the overall like popularity of total like decks played, and just like in general as a class. And then for Rune, like, Rune was still pretty good. Like the thing I like about Rune, well, at least at the moment, is that like there's so many different like rune variants that you can play, and you generally get the benefit because like a lot of your rune variants, like they're all kind of tricky to deal with. Like for example, neutral rune requires you to have the removal, but if you keep the removal and then they turn to be D-shift, well, you're gonna be in a bad spot. Dirt rune has a lot of like value attached to it, and it's kind of difficult to beat at times if you're playing a deck that doesn't have like that much actual scaling, and then they like play like veteran alchemist into say professor into you, and just like, oh well, you're just dead. There's also the Saha stuff as well as Ginger, and it's just a really good time to be playing Rune at the moment. For Blood it's kind of weird because like people are still still trying to like find things that work after the nerfs. Like I do know that Control Blood is like really popular right now because Control Blood does very, very well against all three of the neutral based decks, as well as doing pretty decently versus Dragon, and sometimes being actually favored. What else? Forest is starting to climb up the dumpster a little bit, but it might be a while. But hopefully, the cards that they get from Starforge Legends should help. What do you think? Do you think the set was good? All right. So to be honest, like for me, like ask me questions that like do I think a set was good? Like is usually not a good plan for success, because like I'm usually kind of even overall about like cards. Like I do think that obviously that there were some mistakes in the set or whatever as a whole, but I do think that the set was a good set, like because we got to see these mistakes now, so that's how people can stop asking about it. Because like one of the things that people get that kind of like annoyed me a little bit was that like people would always ask for, okay, well, we want to be able to play 40 card neutral deck and have it be competitive. Like if you think about that, the rationality like of having that be a thing is very, very dangerous, because like if it's good enough to see play, that means they have to wonder, okay, why they have to wonder at that point, okay, well, if it's that good, why can't I just play it with like every single deck? And if you can play with every single deck, you kind of end up in the situation that we are now, where there are at least like 3 different Alice decks, and they're all super annoying, and you never know until it's too late whether or not a class is going to be playing the Alice deck, and if they are, and you can't break up the Alice chain, well, you're going to die because Affinity is broken. But again, like there were some things that were good. Like for example, Control Blood got a lot of like really good control tools this set. What else? The few neutrals that like weren't like that aren't like ridiculously broken, like say for example like Hector or whatever, like they're pretty good. Like they see some play. Gruff sees some play as well. Like Goblin Princess finally sees play outside of just Shadow, which is kind of nice. Yeah, like it's just like even though like some sets have like bad stuff that happens in them, like you still gotta like look at the positive sides. Otherwise, like it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be like good for you to just like look at the negatives or whatever. So I do think that, again, like I said, that like bad things happen, but this overall paves the way for potentially better future, because like now, like we actually got confirmation from side games that, okay, well, we're gonna be reevaluating our design philosophy and whatnot. Like that bodes good change. Like I like change, maybe you like change, maybe you don't like change, but change is clearly on the way, and that's good or bad depending on how you look at it. What do you think about Starforge? About the Starforge Legends? I don't know if this means what did I think about the Legends, or what I think about like the set itself. Oh, okay, no. It just means what do I think about the set? Okay. So the set, I think it's like I think it's pretty cool. Like for me, when I got into Shadowverse, when I heard that was like based off of people who play like MTG or whatever, I expected it to be a little bit like slower overall, and to not be as like aggressively driven, just because like from what I remember from back when I played MTG, like MTG wasn't about like aggro and like every single deck and like having that be like the best way to like play or whatever. So I did like that was like a thing or whatever, and for the most part I haven't been like too disappointed especially in this set. Like for this set, like in Star Forge, they have so many like really good cards. Like I think the only thing I'm like, I guess, quote unquote upset about is maybe is some of the dragon cards, but that's only because like I kind of expected like, I guess, slightly different things, because all the other classes got like really cool things, but dragon really only got like, I guess, like, well, they have access to more card draw if they want it, a few more tutoring and like Dirtle effects, but nothing really that's like, wow, I really want to play this card, with the exception of that of Python. But the majority of the community like disagrees with me that Python is actually good. So yeah. All right. So, what's my favorite legendary? Okay. So for a while it was Python, just because like the card to me is kind of cool. But now that we've seen a few more legendaries, probably Jormungand, the Midgard Serpent. Like, that one's kind of nice to me just because, like, I like serpents, and like, and that dude, well, and that creature like is like pretty famous in that of Norse mythology. So I like it a lot. Was there? Oh, I think there's like two more. I think Barbossa is actually kind of cool as well as Loki. For in the case of Barbossa, like, the reason why I think it's cool is because like we haven't really seen a card like that for Sword, and it's just a really good card overall. Just because, as you know, like, Sword never gets bad legendaries. Like that just never happens. and that holds true too for this one thus far. Like, we haven't seen the second Sword legendary, so you know there's always a chance for me to be wrong. But at the moment, like it's like those two. It's like those two cards, Python, and I think there was something else I liked as well, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, probably that of Loki as well, but I'm not sure, because obviously, like, Loki's text is really confusing, and we still need clarification, because, like, it seems like it only activates once, but I don't know, so, but yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to all of these cards, and yeah, this was the last of the questions, so I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. As always, if you have any questions you want to ask me for the Ask Nanjiroh week 14, obviously go ahead and like, just, you know, find me on Discord, ask me there, ask me down here in the comments, ask me on Twitter, you know, wherever you find me, just go ahead and ask me. Like, I'm always happy to answer. Like, it doesn't matter like how crazy or ridiculous the question is, but in both the good and bad sense of those words. Like, for example, like the biggest thing that I always like cite is that, like, week 2 or whatever, when like Sisney asked me, oh, what color underwear do you wear or whatever, I answered that question. Like, so I answer yours too. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.